Hello and welcome to another study tips video from Sensations English, and today we're going to look at this exciting news report about flying paramedics, and we're going to use it to look a bit more closely at one of the games in the vocabulary and grammar section, the verbs game. And we've got some study tips for you for this game. Now first, it's important to know you'll learn more if you join in and use the comments section to write your answers. So get ready to tap the comments section and type in your ideas. This way you will learn a lot more from this study tips video. To get to the flying paramedics story, you can scroll down to the innovations section, or you can click the innovations button. And here is the flying paramedics story. If we click that, now the first thing you need to do is to watch the video if you haven't already watched it, and you do that just by clicking the button in the middle. The link is in the post at the top. After you've watched the video, first write down 7 words you remember from the news report. And this is really important because it will give you a very strong starting point for your studies. Learning always starts with what you already know. So write down 7 words and post them in the comments now, and then I'll show you my 7 words. Okay, here are my 7 words: paramedics, jet suit, gravity, helicopters, remote, valley, and reach. And these are the words that I remember first from this story. So they're the ones which will help me to link any new words or ideas to the story. Now the next thing is to go down to the interactive games, and we're going to look at the verbs game today. So I'm just going to click that. Here are the instructions. Complete the sentences. Select the correct verb. There are 5 questions. You can also find out what you're going to learn, which is to practice using verbs in sentences, choose verbs from a list of options, get feedback, and read sentences from the news report. And remember, you can study at each level, but we're at B1, so we're going to play the B1 game. But before we play the game, first I want to give you 3 study tips. The first one is use your memory or the situation to help you answer the questions. The next is noticing vocabulary, which is really helpful to identify a verb, and noticing grammar, which is really helpful to identify what form of verb we need in a space. Let's have a look at these ideas. First, using your memory. Can you remember the missing verb, predict it from the situation, or only guess it? Now, it doesn't matter which of these is the situation for you. The other 2 ideas will help you be sure of your answer. So let's look at noticing vocabulary. What vocabulary is connected to the missing verb? Now, with verbs, we always focus on nouns connected to it. And here we've got 3: Richard Browning, the suit, and Gravity Industries. Which one or 2 of these do you think are connected to the missing verb? And remember, we've got who here as well, and we need to identify what who is. Write your answers in the comments. Okay, so the answers are A, Richard Browning, and B, the suit. The suit is easy, I think. It's the object of the verb, but who is the person, not the company. Now let's move on and look at noticing grammar. Is the sentence about the past, present, or future? Well, we've got the word flew here, and I know that flew is the past of fly, so I think this sentence must be in the past. And then we need to think about the tenses and structures which the verb is in. Is the missing verb showing time in a tense? Is it another part of a tense? Or is it part of a structure? Now, here we've got comma, who, something, the suit, comma, and I know that's a structure called a relative clause. So that means that this verb is part of a structure. And then we've got the missing verb is the only verb in that structure, and I know that needs a tense. So I think that this verb is showing time in a tense, and I know it's the past tense. So there are 3 verbs here with the past tense, and I need to decide which one that is. Do you know which one? I think I do. But let's recap quickly. So we've got using your memory or the situation, remember, predict, or guess the missing verb. Notice vocabulary, what vocabulary is connected, and notice grammar, the sentence past, present, or future, and the missing verb showing a tense, another part of a tense, or part of a structure. And I think I know what the answer is. I think it's developed. Let's check. Great. In the test, Richard Browning from Gravity Industries, who developed the suit, flew from the bottom of the valley to the top in 90 seconds. Great. Now it's your turn. So here's question 2. The tests were something in northern England's hilly Lake District, where paramedics often require helicopters to reach patients. And remember to use your memory or the situation. Can you remember, predict, or guess the missing verb? Notice vocabulary. Which words are connected with this missing verb? Well, I think it's the tests and Northern England. I don't think it's the paramedics. And noticing grammar, is it about the past, present, or future? Well, we've got were. I know that were is the past, and then is the missing verb showing time in a tense? Well, I don't think so, because were is the past, time. Another part of a tense, yeah, I think it is. I think it's either past continuous or a simple passive, and part of a structure. Now, if it's passive, then it's part of a structure. What do you think? Write your answer in the comments. Let's check the answer. The tests were performed in northern England's hilly Lake District, where paramedics often require helicopters to reach patients. Did you get it right? Well done. Okay, here's question 3. When a helicopter is not available, it can often take paramedics an hour to something contact with a patient. Here are your 3 study tips. What do you think the answer is? Write your answer in the comments. Okay, let's check the answer. So I think it's make. Yes, when a helicopter is not available, it can often take paramedics an hour to make contact with a patient. Did you get that right? Well done if you did. Here's number 4. The tests were performed in northern England's hilly Lake District, where paramedics often something helicopters to reach patients. We had this sentence before. Write your answer in the comments. Now let's check. The tests were performed in northern England's hilly Lake District, where paramedics often require helicopters to reach patients. Great, there's one more left. They want to something it in remote locations in the UK. Remember to write your answer in the comments. Okay, now let's check. I think it's use. They want to use it in remote locations in the UK. Great, now let's check our answers. We scored 5 out of 5. Now I can go back to the lesson, I can play more games, I can replay the game. I'm going to go back to the lesson now. And you can watch the video again. You can go to a higher level and try the B2, or if you need more help, you can go down to A2 and study that text. So I hope you really found that useful, and we'll be back soon with another study tips video. Until then, keep on learning.